you're listening or watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and share this episode. Now grab your tea, coffee, or a glass of wine, and let's talk the things. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk the Things. Born in Kingston, Jamaica, he is regarded as one of Jamaica's greatest drummers and producers. From Bob Marley to No Doubt, the Rolling Stones to Grace Jones, Peter Tosh to Bob Dylan, his iconic rhythmic style is reflected in his work. Continuing with our celebration of Reggae Month, on this week's episode, we are talking the things with drummer, producer, and one half of the 12-time Grammy-nominated and Grammy Award-winning prolific production duo Sly and Robbie, Sly Dunbar O.D. Distinction. Welcome, Uncle Sly. How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's so great to be talking to you.
Great. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for coming and talking with me. So, because of my love of music, I begin each episode with song lyrics related to the guest or topic. And this episode's lyric is, "Give your heart and soul to vanity, makes your life filled with pain and misery. While life goes on, everyone's got to stand strong. You can't surrender." And those lyrics, for everyone that doesn't know, are from Sitting and Watching by Dennis Brown. And
Oh man, I tell you, I didn't even know that was the lyrics of the song, and I produced the record.
so this is one of my favorite Sly and Robbie written and produced songs for two reasons. So the first, the rhythm, I love the ooh, I love that part.
Yeah, that was Dennis Brown created that part.
Yes, and it's also sampled from Shaggy and Beres Hammond's "Fight This Feeling," which others might be
Yes,
familiar with.
yes, yeah. We did that. We did that for Shaggy and Barry Salmon also. So
Yes. So I love that. And of course, everybody loves Dennis Brown's melodic tone. How can you not,
yeah, man,
right?
he's great. One of the greatest singer of all times.
Greatest. Yes, definitely. And the second is actually for the message. The second reason is for the message within the lyrics. And to me, the message purports the importance of getting to know yourself, being good to yourself, and no matter what, knowing that life goes on and you cannot surrender to what you may be feeling in the moment, no matter how bad it may be. So I wanted to ask you, as you said, you produced the song, what these lyrics mean to you.
Well, I want to tell you something. When we were mixing the song on a Sunday, we heard when we came out of the studio that Jacob Miller had just crashed and died.
Oh,
Why at
wow.
the same time, and then we were listening to the song, and then there were some lyrics in the song. Where I said, "Wow, man, this song is a serious song," Just sitting
Yeah.
here
Oh my
watching
gosh.
what life goes on, and I just listen to them, and I don't know the exact word for it, what he was saying, but then when life goes on, while life goes on, something like that. And I said, "Man,
Yes.
this song is serious,"
Wow.
and I said, "I can't believe what happened. Jacob Miller just died. We come on set and say Jacob Miller just crashed and died."
Oh my
So the song is
goodness.
real powerful.
Wow. That is such a eerie almost correlation.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That is definitely something that I don't think a lot of people know. So thank you for
No, a lot
sharing
of
that
people
with
don't
me.
know.
Wow. Wow. Well, that is an exclusive. You heard it here first.
Yeah, man, definitely.
So I wanted to ask you, what is your first memory that comes to mind when you think of reggae music, being that it's Reggae Month?
Well, reggae for me is like my life, and I love it very much, and it's everything to me. Like I sleep it, I breathe it, I eat it, I play with
Ah,
it, I laugh with it. I do everything
yes,
with reggae, and it has made me the person I really am. And looking at that small country we're coming from, and seeing the
right.
impact that our music has on the world today. Every day you go to the studio and you hear a reggae song, and you try to play one, it gives you that strength to keep on
Mm,
pushing, keep on pushing.
yes, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. So speaking of that and your relationship with reggae music, what is the first memory that comes to mind when you think of reggae music?
Well, the first memory that come to my mind is I remember when I just when we had a concert at school. I used to go to Trench Conference of I, and
Uh-huh.
we went and asked Ken Boo to come and sing at the school at the end of the term. So he came and he sang with the band, the Galas band, and my friend and I was there, a singer by the name of Willie Williams. You probably know the name. And I said to him, "Said this is it, this is music for me." And Ken Booth was really singing because he was so young and he was singing Puppet on a
Yeah.
String. A friend of mine by the name of Johnny Pretty had left a big tape recorder by my home. And so what Light Parks used to come by my home because Light Parks is one of the one who tutored me. We had this tape recorder and he would come every day and would sing and play and then could play back what we had recorded the day and listen back
Mm-hmm.
to it. And this is where I started practicing to be steady as a drummer and I hear what I was playing. I said, well, I'm not bad. I was playing on a, I was playing on a tape cover, not a real drum, but it sounded like a real drum.
Oh,
And then from there, we
wow.
started practicing every day. We were on the taping and Light Parks would be writing songs and things like that. And then he went on to play the band because he used to sing for Studio One, Light Parks.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
he used to be in a group called the Termites. So they
Okay.
sang a song called "Have Mercy, Mr. Percy." But then he could play guitar, and then he went to join this band Arch Invincible, and then I was playing in a little band called the Yard Rooms. So one day
Okay.
I said, let me go and check my friend Ranchi, who's a guitar
Mm-hmm.
player also. Called Light Parks, and two both of us. And I went
Okay.
there, and the drummer was a great drummer by the name of Tin Leg. He is the drummer, but he left to go and do something, and I was there. And Ansel Collins said to me, "Can you play drum?" I said, "A little bit." So I started playing, and he said, "I like how you play." I said, "Really?" That time I was like a bit around 14 years old. I said, "Really?" And then I got a job at this refrigeration place called Kelvinator in Jamaica. Because
Uh-huh.
you don't want to stay at home just doing that, but I was fooling around the music at the same time. So
Right.
Nancy Collins said I wanted to come and play a session for me. I said, really? So I went and did it. And the first song I did was a song called Night Doctor. It came out as The Upsetters.
Oh,
So Lee
wow.
Perry keep on telling me, said, I put out the first song that Sly Dunbar played on. It came out as The Upsetters. And
Wow.
he's right. And then by the time I reached 15, going on 15, Nancy Collins came with a brilliant idea of a
Mm-hmm.
song called Double Barrel. And I played the drums on that one. And that was a million seller. And
Wow.
from there
At
on,
15?
yeah,
Oh
just
my
before I reached
God.
15, but Lloyd Parks also
Wow.
played guitar on the record also. So we were looking at and a lot of things. We were not showing off our boats and coming on, reading about people like James Brown and all these people. Know there's a lot more work to be done. And but
Right.
the song went to number one in England, and it went to number
Wow.
22 in America in 1970, 71, I think. It was top the
Oh my
chart. It
gosh.
went to number 22 in America on the Billboard chart. So I figure more or less we were then going to a lot of parties when we were young, and I was dancing on television with a group of people
Okay.
also. So
Uh-huh.
my friend used to go to this club we call Soul Power. And used to dance on a Friday night and trying to split line, did James Brown and Shuffler. So and we used to go to a lot of parties, go and look at Byron Lee band, all the band that was playing, go and listen to
Uh-huh.
Marathon playing and see people dancing. So I
Yes.
gather from there it kind of get a knock for what the music is all about. And then when we start playing in band now, we were up against the
Mm-hmm.
discotheque that was playing. So when we go on break, the discotheque would play, and then the discotheque go take a break, and then the band start playing. So they were started knowing to select the tune to all the people on the dance floor, so that a lot of people could be on the dance floor while the band was playing. And we kind of get
Oh,
that knock, and we would try
wow.
and rehearse the right tune within the people who want to hear the band play. And so from there
Mm-hmm.
on, we
Mm-hmm.
develop, and we go on and on in Jamaica doing that. And we do going to play at Redwood or Tit for Tat, 3, 4 nights a week. We didn't know all these things was there to happen for us, like getting international fame or whatever. But we're just going through the motion,
Right,
just playing
right.
music, and enjoying ourselves. 'Cause we love it so much.
Wow. Right. So it doesn't even feel like work because it's something that you love to do.
No, no, I never felt like work. So even today, sometime I would sit down and I can't believe it, and I say, wow, man, I didn't know if this is for real or what, because we were just playing the music because we want to survive, and
Yeah.
all of this starting like I'm at, I mean it's all good, but it's You were not looking for this thing to happen because a small country like Jamaica
Right,
in
right.
competing with the outside world, there's no way we have all that gold and that goodness to compete with them. We probably might be there hanging on in somewhere down the line, you know?
Definitely. So, did you play any other instruments when you were a child, or did you always know?
When I was a child, I'd like piano very
Oh,
much, and
okay.
I'd like some. I would learn some chords and the guitar, but why I stick to drums? There was this drummer by the name of Lloyd Nibbs who used to play for the Skatalites,
Oh, yes, I'm familiar with him.
and I think he's the best drummer. So I used to watch him play on television, and I used to go to stage show. My mom used to send me to stage show to look at him play and everything, you know. And I said, "Well, this is what I want to do
Oh,
because
wow.
he's a businessman in the band. He's playing so many things, you know." And then I used to listen to Booker T and MG's drummer Al Jackson, and I used to listen to Steve Gadd's, the Motown drummer, the Beatles drummer. All the drummers were up in, and I used to listen to
Ah,
Earl Young from Philadelphia International. And I never gone to music school
okay,
because
okay.
my mom couldn't afford me for me to go to one. So I was like a kind of self-taught kind of person, you know.
Right. And would you say those are some of your favorite drummers if you had to list some?
Yeah, that's some of my favorite drummers. Then otherwise, coming down the line as I get involved with those people like Paul Douglas. I think you know that
Yes.
name. And there was Phil Calenda, and there was like Osmond, there was Mikey Boo, and there was a guy called him Bunny
Ah,
Williams. Some of them I can't remember, you know. And there was so Desi Jones, who I used to listen to. I used to listen to a lot of recordings, both local and foreign. And then because in the band we had to play
mhm.
a little bit of soul, a little bit of reggae, a little bit of calypso, a little bit of everything, you know. So you got familiar with some of these songs, yeah.
Oh, nice, nice. Do you remember where you were and how old you were when you heard a song you played on the radio for the first time?
Yeah, the first song I heard on the radio was Night Doctor, and I was like going on
Oh.
15 years old, and I used to do some gigs down by Victoria Pier on a
Mhm.
Friday and a Saturday. And I remember I used to run to the radio to listen myself, you know, and
Oh,
at the
wow.
workshop when I was playing on the radio. The worker said, "Oh, yeah," they call me Dunbar. Yes, Dunbar playing on this track. You the track, you know, you create that excitement. Yeah, so I used to listen to the radio and say,
Wow.
"Wow," you know.
How did you feel in that moment? Like when you heard that, like you said, coming from where you were coming from, how did that make you
Well,
feel?
I felt really, really good in myself to know. I said, well, I figure I'm going somewhere, but that was just the beginning. There was a lot more work to be done, you know.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I started on the journey and say, I'm willing to take this trip, you know,
Right,
and
right.
to achieve what I can achieve, you know.
Right, right.
So I tried it, you know, and stayed with it, you
And you
know.
stayed with it. And where do you think you get that drive from? Just to kind of go and want.
I got that drive looking at successful people in the music business, people like Berry Gordy, people like Chris Blackwell.
Ah,
They're successful people, and I used to watch because the father used to play in Barrisco, and I always admire him. And then
yes.
when he left Tamacook, I was a drummer who took over from him. And there's a
Okay.
lot of people that you got to drive from, but I was seeing myself looking at Berry Gordy's success, that's Motown, and I just want to see, I see that world in front of me all the time.
Oh, wow, that is
Yeah,
amazing. So speaking of the
yeah.
songs that you've played on, you have played on many of my favorite and others' favorite reggae songs, one of them being Punky Reggae Party by Bob Marley and the
Oh,
Wailers.
that's just a nice story to tell about that song.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, what was it like playing with Bob
Okay,
Marley
all
and the
right.
Wailers?
You know, I'm also a great fan of Bob Marley in a way. So the first time I heard Simmer Down, you know, and I
Ah,
remember one evening I played at Channel One, did a session at Channel One. Then
mm-hmm,
I was walking up to Joe Gibbs just to hang out with other musicians, you know.
mm-hmm.
And when I got into the yard, engineer by the name of Roddy Thomas said to me, Sly, Lee Scratchberry is looking for you. I said, for what? He said, well, there's a track that every drummer try to do it and can't. I said, no, man, come on, man. These are some good drummers in Jamaica. You can't tell me anything. So I said to him, what can I do if these drummers can't do it? I can't do anything. Because these are some great drummers. And he said, boy, I don't know. I said, okay, we're going to give it a try.
Mm-hmm.
I said, when I get inside the drum booth, go into record immediately because I'm going to take one take of the song. On, On the tape, this is on the Bob Marley voice on the tape. There was nothing else, no other instrument, just Bob
Oh,
voice alone.
wow.
And I'm going to be playing to just Bob
Mm-hmm.
voice. And I listened to it not all the way down the first and say I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
And I did it in one take. That Flick couldn't believe it, and he called Scratch. He says Sly did it. He's gone. So Scratch asked where Sly. I said, he's gone about his business. Gone on the road. Walk on. And then I heard the song came out, and I remember talking to Watty Bernard, and you say, well, a band or something like that. You say, yeah, you remember going to Joe Gibson to put on backing vocals and everything on the track when I did it. Bob said,
Wow.
okay, Sly put did the drums. And Bob said, I'm going to sing it back now, like how Sly did the drums. And, I couldn't believe
Wow.
that so many people had tried and it never worked, And then went one take, and,
And so he ended up doing it over to how you played later
yeah,
on.
yes, because I was playing his vocals, so he sang it. Yeah,
Oh, that is so interesting and such a cool story.
yeah. And that is the saga of Punky Reggae Party.
And did you end up playing on other sessions where he was actually in the studio?
Yeah, I did a session for him one night. Myself, Boris Gardner, and I don't know if Keith Sterling was there, Ernie Roggen, and we did three songs, but Scratch was a producer, and then we didn't know what happened to those, 'cause Bob was trying to get the songs from him. Nobody could get the songs from him, so I don't know what happened to those songs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. That is so cool. Wow, 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 wow. So, as I mentioned earlier, in addition to things that you've worked on your own, you're also a part of the duo Sly and Robbie. And I was very sad to hear of Uncle Robbie, Robbie Shakespeare, for those of you who aren't familiar. I was very sad to hear of his passing
Yeah.
in 2021. He was both a kind and talented person and has contributed to so many of our favorite songs.
Yeah.
My first memory of him is actually his role in the movie Rockers, which I should be too young to
Yeah.
know
He
that
was.
movie, but I know it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he was in Rockers. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And then my most recent memory was during my time at Harvard. There is a Harvard bookstore that's very well known. And there was this huge book in there about reggae music. And he was on the first page inside of the front cover. And I remember sending a text to my dad and being like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. And it was actually a picture from that movie.
Okay.
So I know that in 1979, you both started an independent music production company
Yeah.
called Taxi
Yeah.
Records. And for those that don't know, you produced some of our favorite songs like Murder She Wrote by Shaka Demus
Yes.
and Pliers,
Yes.
Hey Baby by No Doubt,
Yeah.
and Pull Up to My Bumper by Grace
Yeah.
Jones, just to name a few.
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask, at such a wide range, what was it like to spend the majority of your life getting to do what you love, like you said, but with your best friend?
Well, like Robbie and myself always talk about just going as far as we can go and trying to do other things. And like sometimes we book studio time and go and we lay down like certain kind of different rhythm patterns. And sometimes we don't
Mm-hmm.
know what's going to happen. But I remember the connection with Grace Jones happened like we were putting out our records in Jamaica. And we didn't know people like Chris Blackwell were listening to our production. And then he sent and called us, and we were in New York at the same time, and we had went over there to have a meeting, and he said he had this Jamaican girl by the name of Grace, and she lives in Paris, and she's a model, and she's doing some disco, and he wants to try something in Nassau to see if it could work, and
Mm-hmm.
and some kind of music. So we got some album from him about her. We haven't listened to that album up to today. I've listened one song from the album, one of those albums. So Robbie and myself, none of us listen to anything. So the session was called in 1980. I think it's somewhere like August. I want to know something. Got to fly to Nassau. So we got down to Nassau. Nobody know what we're going to play or whatever. So we said to Chris, "What are we going to play?" So we're going to make some music.
Mm-hmm.
So somebody suggests, should we rehearse? And then after we rehearse, we go inside the studio and cut it. Robbie said, no, let's go inside the studio. And whatever we rehearse, we cut it immediately. I said, that's a great idea because we don't know if we're going to get by the same feel. So when you get inside the studio, there's a big picture of Grace Jones right across. And you see that image, and we're looking at that image. And then when the session was about to start, she walked in and we look at the same person and said, oh my God, it's the same. same image,
Oh
and
my
looking at her
gosh.
with the same hairstyle, look and the same this picture across. So it kind of give you a feel that this is how you're gonna make the music. This is the image you're gonna play. This is the person. She's just standing in front of us, and we're looking at the big picture across the studio on the wall. And we decided to start the session. The first song we did was a song called "Warm Leatherette." But what happened to the song now?
Mm.
We're gonna turn the song into the way we feel it, the way we was feeling it.
Hmm.
Put a groove behind the song. We're gonna change everything about the song. So that was one of the first songs. The second song was a song called "Private Life," which I think is one of my favorite recordings. It was done by guys,
Wow.
and we did a version of reggae. So our production was between reggae mixing with other things, but we always maintain a
Hmm.
reggae, little kind of reggae thing inside. Okay, where we go, there's always some kind of reggae thing inside of it. So we start cutting, and we pull up to the bumper was cut. I written a song for her, but
Wow.
my song was "Spread Yourself Over Me Like Peanut Butter," and it never came
Oh.
to the album. So she went to Chris and she cried and she got back her rhythm. The rhythm actually came out as an instrumental song called Peanut Butter, right?
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Her? By the name of Donovan came down to Nassau. I don't know if they wrote the lyrics down there, but then she wrote Pull Up to My Bumper, which is the same thing like Spread Yourself Over Me Like Peanut Butter. So we were on the road
Hmm.
with Black Hole touring, and Chris called us on the road. I don't remember if he called us or we called him, and he said we're gonna have a monster hit. I said, "What song?" I said, "That song you had written for Grace." And I said, "Really?" And he played for me as a man, and then I heard it, and I said, "Wow!" Then it started just start happening all over the world, and it was like our first big hit for her, And then we started doing other things, and then we started working with people like Gwen Guthrie, and we did a song called "Should Have Been You," and a
Wow.
song called "Padlock." A couple of songs we did like 2 albums for her, and then our
Wow.
production started coming like the brand jumps out to get us the production deal with No Doubt to make 2 records for them, and the 2 records that we produced for them won them 2 Grammy, and the only Grammys they've ever won.
Wow. So what was the other record? So Hey Baby and
Underneath it all, by the lady saw was on it with
Oh, okay. That was also one of
yeah,
my favorite
yeah,
songs. So how did that come about? Like, for example, did you guys facilitate the feature of Lady Saw and
yeah. We call the lady saw on us a good friend, just like Bounty Killer, and
okay.
we kind of call them and say, we then ask them if they would like to go on this record that we're producing, and they say yeah, and we drove into
Wow.
Kingston, and we had a little home studio right now in Norbrook, and we went there, we did the vocals there, Bounty Killer, and we did Lady Salvation. And I think Gwen even did back her vocal on Hey Baby, because she wanted to do back the vocal, because she kind of liked the vibes there. So she did the vocal, and then she
Oh,
started
okay.
saying, "This is going to be a hit song." That's what song, Hey Baby. It's a Jeep sound. I can feel the Jeep sound. It's going to be a big hit. And
Yes.
our prediction came true.
Yes,
And
definitely.
then,
And Bounty Killer is so brilliant on that song. It seems like it
yeah,
was
very,
meant to
very, very
be.
good. Very good. And both of them take that. There's one cut they're taking, and then they will spend a lot of time on the tracks.
So Bounty
Yeah,
Killer
yeah.
did his voice in one cut, one
One
take?
take, yeah, yeah.
My goodness. Wow. Well, I guess that's why he's a veteran, right?
Yeah, man, and the latest out on one take. Everybody
Wow.
was ready. By the time we come to Kingston,
Wow.
everybody was ready.
Oh my goodness. And those were major hits for them, like you said. I didn't know the fact about the Grammy that those were the only two.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The only Grammy they ever won is 2 Grammy for those 2 songs.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. That is amazing. So, given your wide range of artists that you've worked with, how does the Sly and Robbie approach, if you will, differ from when you're working with reggae artists versus like a No Doubt or Rolling Stones?
Oh, well, we kind of approach it the same way because we have to find that groove behind the rhythm, and this is what we search all the time. Once you get that bass and drum connecting part to it and it's grooving, then no producers are going to turn down a groove that is cracking up, and it's burning. So we're trying to find that
Mm-hmm.
groove for everybody. We kind of work the same because Each and Anybody is still a hit. Even with the Bob Dylan session,
Right.
we just, that is one of the most beautiful sessions we did. He didn't say anything. I mean, he said, tell us what to play. Nobody tell us what to play
Mm-hmm.
and say anything what everybody should play. And Bob would just start singing with his guitar, and we start following
Mm-hmm.
what he's doing. And the tape will be spinning in the records, and he keep on doing over and over again, and we cut, and then they listen back and say that's a cut, and then, but we play every cut like it was a cut, a real cut.
Ah,
And that Bob Dylan album was really awesome, and I still think it kind of blossomed into one of his best albums that he has ever done. Because when I look at the video there's a video with him singing "Don't Fall Apart on Me Tonight," and you can see him
mm-hmm.
enjoying himself, and he sound like a soul singer, not like that those
Yeah,
the kind of singer that people call him like that kind of what I would say the right name for that kind of singer, like
like not
no,
rock.
not rock. He
That
used to
wouldn't be
sing like
rock.
a kind of they call it a certain name, but you could see he came off that zone with us playing with him, and you could hear his vocal breathing more, the way we played the rhythm for him and
Ah,
everything. And he was the one who asked us, so he wanted us to come and play his
interesting.
album for him.
Wow. So speaking of non-reggae songs,
Yeah,
right? So the Bob Dylan song, for example, Tight Connection to My Heart and Undercover of the Night by the Rolling Stones, they
yeah. Undercover by the Night. So I played snare drum. I only did that. I did a snare. I just bought the electronic
ah,
drums, and
mm-hmm.
they asked me to play on it. And there was another song also we played on called "Too Much Blood." The album was
Oh,
undercover until the
okay.
track on the album was "Too Much Blood."
Too
Yeah,
much blood.
yeah.
Okay. So that shows to me that you're not only a reggae drummer and producer, but as some may label you, but just a drummer and producer of all music.
And say I don't even call myself a producer. I just call myself a musician who love to make music.
Ah, I love that. I like
You
that.
know, so love to make music. I enjoy doing it because
Yes,
because sometimes
definitely.
a producer might not be a musician, but he's producing. But
That is
I'm a
true.
musician who just love to make music, and I enjoy what I'm doing so much.
That is true. I love that. I love that outlook. And
Yeah.
so, for young people that want to become a producer or a musician that loves to make music, as you put it, how important is it to have the ability to transcend different genres?
Well, the first thing you have to do, you have to really listen. And the reason why we could cover that wide era of music is because like we used to play in dance band, just
Ah,
like your father,
yes.
and we used to play like R&B, reggae, calypso, everything. So also of our life we're playing in clubs around Jamaica, so we have to play all of these genre of music for the people to dance.
Right, right.
So we grew up on it. So when it came to a opportunity for us to play like an R&B or what, we could do it because we were playing this at night times in the clubs. We
Mm.
tried it and it worked, and we listened back to it if we were playing it right, and it sounded close to the American. Although we used to call it the tropical style R&B. We're
Wow.
from the tropics, so we call it the tropical style of R&B.
So, why do you think, or I guess I should say, how important do you think it is that we have this month, Reggae Month, to celebrate this genre of music that was created, like you said, out of this little island, Jamaica?
Well, I think it's good. I think we should have reggae year instead of reggae month.
Yes, I love that. Reggae year.
Because we reggae is 24/7 and it goes on and on. I mean, it's a good idea to say like reggae month and put emphasis on it and get a lot of activities happening and a lot of performance with artists and everything like that. And this Bob Marley birthday, Dennis Brown birthday, and things. The Grammy is happening and everything. So
Yes, yes.
it's like a good thing. But I look at it as a reggae year because after February is done, we must show what we have achieved or learned from reggae month so we can take it over into the reggae year.
Absolutely, absolutely. And how do you think that reggae has impacted other genres of music? Because as you said, it should be something that's talked about
Well,
all year.
I think the real pop music of the world today, I think is reggae. Pop music means popular music of the day, and I think everybody we have spoken to, there's a kind of liking for it. Some of them don't know how to play, but they love it, and they know of it. And it has just a vibe, and it's coming from the Caribbean, so it just have a different way of life, a different culture, different everything about it.
Ah, makes sense, makes sense. And my second to last question, Kabaka Pyramid just won the Grammy for Best Reggae Album for his album The Calling. And as a
Yeah.
former recipient of this award, what does it mean to you to see the younger generation receive such a prestigious international award?
Well, I feel good for Kabaka Pyramid because I was on a tour and I saw him perform and he was wicked, on that tour. And
Ah,
I always, we did this, the Welcome to Jamrock cruise tour also, and he was on
okay.
it when it performed Michael Rose, and he always gave a good performance, and I really liked him very much, and
Oh, nice.
like he structured his song. So when I heard this album, I was listening to there's a track called Red, Green, and Gold, which I love very much, and
Mm-hmm.
just the way the concept of the album, I felt in my heart that he was going to win because the structure of the album and where the sound is coming from, he was using like going for the real sound and the real thing. He was not going to the trap break or anything like that.
Right, right.
So, and he's a great performer also. So I really feel glad for him, and I think it just him now to take it from here and go to the next level.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah,
I think that's really awesome. All that he's achieved and the message, like you said,
yeah,
on his album, I think is really important to get that out there. Now,
yeah.
so many other people would be obviously familiar with him because of the Grammys. So yes, I think that's amazing. So, Uncle Sly, you have influenced and inspired people around the world, as humble as you may be, and you have achieved the unthinkable for most young Jamaican boys with a dream to become an internationally regarded Grammy Award winning drummer. If you could tell your 15-year-old self one thing, what would you say, and what advice would you have for younger persons looking to get into the music
Well,
business?
firstly, I don't know. When I told my mom I didn't want to go back to school, maybe she got the dream. I don't know where she got the dream from. And she said to me, "Okay." And I said, "I don't believe what she's saying. I don't know if somebody came down to her and spoke to her and said, 'Yeah, let you do what you want to do,' and everything like that." So I would say to the younger kids who want to get involved, you have to make sure that you love it, and then sometimes the time get a bit hard that you have to do other things to survive. Which I was learning refrigeration at the same time, but I was performing at the Victoria Pier. But in today, world of music in Jamaica, there's not a lot of place for you to really play. We've got a lot of clubs that we could play on weekends. Go to the country and play. Now you have to do like a show and something like that. So not a lot of performers so on to do. But you can still
Okay.
learn with all the technology that they have, and just keep focusing your mind and read a lot about the success of Bergard and all these people, like in the music business who have done so much great work and things like that. And take your time. It's not a rush thing, but you have to position yourself and keep doing it. Don't lay back too much. Like, you have it under control. Keep pushing. Keep on pushing. Like Curtis
Right.
Mayfield would say, keep on pushing. Just keep on pushing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Consistency is
yeah,
key,
yeah.
right?
That
Definitely.
first thing. The second thing is to work on the sound for yourself and get that sound out there.
Ah, so basically honing in on your sound is very important.
Yeah, yeah. Because what Robbie and myself did, we look at Motown at the sound, Philly at the sound, Studio One at the sound, Treasure at the sound. And we say, well, it's important for us, Sly and Robbie, to get a sound that people can identify.
Mm,
And we did that, and that was what we took us to where we were with Black Oro, that sound that we had created.
wow. So would
Yeah,
you
but
say
so
that it's really important, just in general, but especially if you're interested in coming into the music business, to really focus on being yourself? Because I think a lot of times my generation and the younger generations, it's this idea to like follow what is working.
well, you can follow and look at what is happening, but you have to be yourself still.
Right.
You have to take any idea that you see and carry it over to you, but you readjust it and recreate it.
Ah,
You recreate it. If it's something that you like, say, I like that, but I don't want to do it like that. I'm going to recreate it. So you might take the idea that they have and make it even better than it was.
right. And you're going to make it your own.
Yeah, yeah, and they're going to make, and that's going to become your own. But your reference was that track or that maybe that shoes you see. But I'm going to remake the shoes my own.
Right, right, right. Okay, so before we go, can you tell us about any upcoming projects or things you have coming up that our listeners would be interested in?
Well, at the moment, we because of the pandemic, a lot of everything got a bit slow, and we're thinking of getting together to probably go on the road with Bitty McLean. And
Oh, I love him.
yeah, man, he's great, man. We work together a lot, very, very close. And we are just doing recording some. We are working on a new album also called Red Hills Road Volume 2. That, I mean, with most of the musicians we used to play on Red Hills Road, and we're getting
Oh,
that
nice.
Sly and Robbie sound out there in the street. And we're getting that together and everything like that, And we're working on
Nice.
a lot of stuff for other producers and other artists because sometimes they might come to you and need some help and you try and help them out. Somebody might play a drum track for them so they could take the drum track and take it to wherever they want to take it, and
Oh,
get probably a
perfect.
keyboard player or a bassman to double bass line to it.
Great, great. That sounds amazing.
And then I was thinking of doing a double album with my tutor on Light Parks and one with Flabber Wall too. He used to
Oh,
produce a lot of Greg Rice session for when we used to play for him. So I was two double album in my head to do, and Light Parks and one with Flabber Wall.
oh, nice.
So I wanted to get those cracking, and it's
Nice.
gonna be live. Will be no machine.
Wow. Well, of course
Yeah.
not. Of course, you can't have any machine with those
Nah,
those
nah, nah. No
legends in the
machine.
room.
No machine in the room.
Well, thank you so much for coming to talk the things with me, and thank you for your contribution to reggae music and music in general.
Thank you for taking the time out to do this hookup and this interview, and I really appreciate it and respect it so much,
Oh, of course, definitely.